Number 8 is a subtraction problem. So the thing you have to remember with subtraction is that negative is going to apply to anything with that second term. So what I like to do is this. I like to change it to a positive and make the 5 negative. That way you kind of don't lose that in everything else that's going on, because you are probably going to be distributing that negative. All right, so let's look at what we have here. The first thing you want to do is, after we deal with that negative, is factor the bottom. 2x plus 10 is nice. It factors to 2 times x plus 5. And x squared minus 25 is a difference of squares. And what I probably should have done was gone ahead and written a new line, so we'll go ahead and do that. So here's what we have. Factor denominators. So I like to think about, with addition and subtraction, when I'm finding a common denominator, I like to think of each fraction needing what the other one has. So my first fraction has a 2, has an x plus 5, but it doesn't have the x minus 5. So it needs it. We multiply by our fancy 1. If we're doing it to the bottom, we have to do it to the top as well. Our second fraction has an x plus 5 and x minus 5, but it doesn't have the 2. So if I'm going to multiply by 2 on the bottom, I'm going to do it on the top as well. So my common denominator I like to write out in the next step. We just made this great common denominator of 2 times x plus 5 times x minus 5. And our numerator is now this. X minus 5 times x plus 4, those are in parentheses on purpose, plus negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. Minus 10 or plus negative 10. Either of those would be lovely. So you can't cancel the x minus 5s here. It's very tempting. You can't cancel the x minus 5s here because of that minus 10, because there is subtraction there in the middle of the problem. So you can't cancel if there's any kind of subtraction or addition going on there. What we want to do is multiply this out, the x minus 5 times x plus 4. So x squared plus 4x minus 5x minus 20. We do minus 10. And we're going to leave the denominator nice and factor. All right, and now we're going to combine our like terms. My like terms up here are my middle terms from my multiplication and that negative 20 and negative 10. So x squared is just hanging out. Plus 4 minus 5 is my negative 1x. And then negative 30. I thought I remembered liking this problem quite a bit, because we're going to be able to factor and cancel now. So x squared minus x minus 30 is factorable. Two numbers that multiply to negative 30 and add to negative 1 are negative 6 and positive 5. Everything's not going to cancel, but we do have some nice canceling that we could do here. The x plus 5's cancel, and so we're left with just x minus 6 on the top and 2 times x minus 5 on the bottom. You can multiply that 2 in, but it's not necessary, and actually I would kind of discourage it. When we get to our next unit on rational functions, our first step is just definitely going to be factor, leave everything in factored form. All right, lovely. That's number 8. I hope that was helpful.